Alright guys, the video I promised a while ago on how I use the MIMIQ pedal in my setup. First I'll do a quick run over of my pedal board. The guitar goes into the Masotti white box, into a tuner. I use the death pedal from AB Custom Effects to create a chainsaw sound. I have a Groot Lawaai Zool clone as a noise gate. And I use the MIMIQ, and you see also the radial ABY pedal, but I'll come to that later. So the signal goes into the white box, into the tuner, into the noise gate, and the death pedal is in the effects loop of the noise gate, just for convenience to when I want feedback live or when I want breaks to be really tight. And then I go into the MIMIQ pedal. One output of the MIMIQ goes into 1 amp and the other output goes into the radial ABY box. And on the ABY from radial I use only the output B because it has a ground lift. If I don't use that one, I get like the very annoying 50-60 Hertz hum, which is, it's not fun to play with. I tried several ways of using the MIMIQ, but how I'm currently running it is the only way that I found that it was really working and doing what I wanted it to do. So what I do is I run a signal, a mono input to the pedal, and I use the 2 outs, because in the beginning I tried using the ABY as a splitter and go stereo into the MIMIQ pedal, but then I would not have a dry signal and a wet signal. It's only when you run like 1 input you can have really a dry signal and a wet signal on the MIMIQ pedal. Another advantage of having the radial ABY after the MIMIQ is with this button here I can switch kind of on off the second amp, and I use that live to even further create the effect of having a second guitar player. If there's a guitar break, I mute the second amp and I kick it back in when the break is over, which adds a nice effect live. Amp wise, the signal is going into the dual rectifier and the other one is going into the 6505, which both fire up a set of speakers, which I have positioned on each side, either of the rehearsal room or on the stage, which defines extra the effect of the MIMIQ, like the stereo sound. That's one, and there's the other stack.